Yo, quick disclaimer at about 23 minutes 45 seconds in, I say control. I meant to say countdown. Most of you are probably listening to this like a podcast. I meant to say countdown and elimination, not the difference between countdown and elimination, not control and elimination. Enjoy the video. Yo, what's up everyone and welcome back to another YouTube video with your host Kenkukun, and today we're going to be talking about what I think is the biggest problem in Destiny 2, and some people would agree that there is a problem. They may not necessarily agree it's the biggest problem, but let me put it into perspective for you guys, because I may not have ever really put it into perspective. You just have to know what I'm talking about by imagining what I'm imagining. And if I told you I was imagining the greatest warrior in all the world, um, and you imagine it too, and I just left it at that. Male, female, tall, short, do they any magical abilities? No, yes, maybe, blah blah blah, right? We'd all come probably to a different, image in our head. So, first off, let me address the topic. The main topic is I think Destiny maps are built very, very poorly in D2. Now, let me give you the history of this, and you've probably heard it a million times, but bear with me, please, for the sake of anyone new that might not have heard this. In Destiny 1, at the end of Destiny 1, Bungie stated, they clearly stated, we never made maps and game modes to go together, right? They never made they never made a new map and said, hey, this map would be perfect for this game mode, so we're going to build this map with this game mode in mind. They just made maps, threw them in the game, all right? Those are all D1 maps. Every single Destiny 1 map, all right? Now, remember that. In D2, when it was at the end of D1 going into D2, they also said in that same statement, going forward in Destiny 2, we're going to be making maps intended for specific game modes when it comes to PvP, right? What else are they going to tell PvP people that they're going to be excited about? Oh, new subclasses. Okay. Oh, we're going to have new maps and they're going to be built for game modes. Oh, okay. We're going to have a new game mode that I think people are going to like. Oh, and and so on and so right. Whatever they could. And probably when it comes to PvP, some of the biggest things that you can get out of it are weapons, subclasses. I think a huge wave to the whole of the community, right? PvE and PvP would be a whole new class. That would be wild. So you got maps, guns, maps, subclasses, right? And then what else? Game modes, right? You go into the game modes, and so on and so forth, right? So, and they were excited. We're excited to announce that Destiny 2's Trials of the 9, I don't know if they announced it as of the 9, is going to come out with 2 game modes, right? Countdown and Survival, and the maps are going to be built for each game mode respectively. So when Destiny 2 came out, you had countdown maps, right? That were I can't even pick countdown. That's sad days. You had countdown maps that were relatively balanced for the game mode. Now I could choose any. Let's see. Let me find a countdown map. Wow, that's do 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 do. Here's a countdown map. This was probably not the greatest countdown map made. Let me get one that I'm more fond of. I don't even. Well, here's Midtown. Here's Pacifica. And I think I'm going to use. Oh, here's Radiant Cliffs. Here's a big one. All right, Radiant Cliffs. We're going to do this one because this map was ass for Trials of Osiris. Nobody liked it. On top of you being able to get on top of the map in some areas and just, really go all out at whatever you want to do, because this is Bungie's fault that people could do this. Everyone else that wanted to play the game and maybe have some fun and maybe even make it to the lighthouse and get really close, and now they ran into a team that's abusing things in the map that shouldn't be. So that aside, So that already left a sour taste in our mouth. That aside, this game mode wasn't built for Trials of Osiris. Or sorry, this map wasn't built for Trials of Osiris. This map is okay in 6's Control. Not bad. Probably works okay in Clash. But it was built for Countdown. This was a Countdown map. It wasn't a survival map. It was a Countdown map, right? Sad to see that Eternity is gone or not an option in this at all. Because Eternity was the most balanced map out of all of them. But this one will do relatively as well. Radiant Cliffs. So you had to the right of this picture, right? And we'll go ahead and launch in. But to the right, you had one bomb site. And to the left, you had another bomb site. So bear with me now. You had to keep in mind that this was 4v4 at the time. This was 4 people in Trials, not 3, right? The maps were built for the game modes, all right? And we've seen less problems that we run into today. So my topic is, or my main point is, Destiny, the state of Destiny, or the way you feel about PvP when it comes to Stasis, right? When it comes to Arbalest, when it comes to Bastion, right? And Teus Wards, right? And we're going to go over these in a minute. It's because the maps are poorly designed, right? So this is offense. We're on offense, right? So where Trials of Osiris, normally everything would happen over here, and you're gonna see a common theme because this is just the way the game is played. You're gonna see a common theme. Here is overtime, and here is heavy. If this was Trials of the Nine, now if you spawn in this spawn, how raise your hand if you can see overtime and heavy from this spawn. I mean, yeah, sure. You know, heavy would be on the other side of that, but you get a clear. All you gotta do is do. Let me run up here. Do. Oh, I'm here. All right. Now let's imagine for a moment that you couldn't get up on top of that little ledge. You couldn't get up there. You couldn't get anywhere you weren't supposed to be. Right. So aside from Dawn Blades floating in the air or shatter stasis crystals on the walls where people would be standing if they wanted to, which is totally fine in the game because that's a limited resource and a limited time frame it stays. And it's very obvious that we see it happening most of the time. You would have to worry about people coming from here, coming from the spawn, coming from back here, top, bottom, top and bottom over there, right? And this spawn, the people that spawn here, they can get to right about, we'll say right about here, right? All right, let's go back this way. Now, Dawn Blades aside, Dawn Blades might get there a little bit faster if you're really good on your Dawn Blade, right? You have a good build for mobility and you know how to use it. Dawn Blades might get there. Dawn Blades are probably going to get there before anyone else. Maybe Blinking Warlocks with the, is it the Astrocyte helmet? Maybe. So, here's spawn. All right, we're going to come up here. We're going to get about here. All right, we'll keep on going. Right about here, somewhere between this block and right here, which is a big wide radius. I don't have anyone with me right now. You're going to see enemies on the radar. They're either already going to be here, jumping up over here. So they're already securing the middle by the time you get right about here. So if overtime and heavy are right there, right? If overtime and heavy are right there, and an enemy team already has the ground, now this is a fact. There is no argument here. You must fight your way to overtime and to heavy if it comes down to overtime. And heavy happens once a game. So eventually, heavy's going to spawn, whether you fight over it or not. Whether you have the spawn that gets to spawn at heavy or not is RNG at the beginning of the game. You don't know where you're going to spawn at first. So I think it's round 1, 2, 3. So round 4. So you'd have to spawn there. Round 1, 2, 3, and then on round 4, right? So round 4, this is where we spawn. I believe, yeah, because it would be 3 wins and then heavy spawns. Boom, there you go. So you would have to spawn on the you'd have to spawn at what I would call the disadvantage spawn. Now you could come, let's say, oh well, Ken, what about the other angles you could take? Okay, you could come out over here and be over here. And by the time you get here, enemies are already on the radar. So now you're coming out of a little choke point, right? So yeah, you could go, okay, is there anyone at that wall? Is there anyone at that wall? Oh, oh, there's someone. Let's shoot them there, right? Or, so you're making a sweep in motion, but at the same time, boom, grenade. Oh, gotta move back, gotta leave. All right, now we're locked out. Okay, let's take another angle, right? Let's go over here. Now you have more wiggle room. Yeah, you can still come over here, but again, what if it's overtime? All right, what if it's overtime and you guys can't push out of the cave for whatever reason? You're just not good enough to push out of the cave, so you want to rotate. Well, assuming the flag isn't being captured as we speak, you gotta let's say I think it's like 20 seconds to capture a flag with one person, and go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I made a very bad jump there. So about 10 seconds to probably get right about here. Right, now you have 10 more seconds to actually get them off the flag, and then touch and reset the flag, and your screen's going black. Right, you're going blind with the darkness. The darkness has taken over. This is going to be a long video, guys, so please bear with me, because I really want to drive home the similarities of these maps. All right, I'm just using this one as an example. So you want to rotate farther, that's even more time. It probably takes another 4 to 5 seconds to get over here, depending on what you're running, how fast you are. And you still, oh, there's a Titan shield. Now I got to get closer. And now you're dead. Boom. Because you are forced to go into that area. So again, this map wasn't built for this map wasn't built for Trials of Osiris, right? And I'm gonna make this very clear. There are 0 maps in Destiny 2 PvP that have shown up in Trials of Osiris that were built for Trials of Osiris. Want to know why? Because none of the maps in Destiny 1 were built for it. None of the maps in Destiny 2 were built for it. And elimination didn't even exist in this game until they brought it back. And guess what? Guess what they did? They didn't make new maps for elimination. No, they brought old maps back for elimination. The same maps they said they did not build for Trials of Osiris. The same maps they said they did not build with the game mode in mind. So there was no balance. That's why you get maps like these that really don't work. Now, if this was Countdown, check this out. All right, 4v4 count. This is why I loved 4v4 Countdown. This is why I loved Countdown. Right, it was an objective-based game mode. It brought a different type of skill to the game. You had to be thoughtful. You had to be quick-witted. And people that can come up with a good plan could sometimes win games with little effort. All right. And yes, the Arbalist takes a little effort, but that's not the same thing, because they have to come up. They have to be able to pull it off. So I guess with it does take a bit of effort, but with a little bit of luck and a smart play. So anyway, it's defend. All right. There were plenty of times where, all right, so how do you come out of the spawn? If it's defense, there's a bomb over there at heavy, there's a bomb over there at B. Where do you go? You got 4 people. Do you split to one direction and to the other? Do you all go the same way? Do you 3 and 1? Those are probably 3 options. Or you could just run straight to the middle, right? And now, boom, you're in the middle. Okay. So you could, and then you see on the radar, are they going left or right? So the timer is going to kick me out. Let me go ahead. We'll hop right back in here. All right. So if you're at this location, you can see on the radar, are they going left or are they going right? And now if your whole team goes here and they go cave, you're going to see them on the radar. And then it's like, all right, do we dash in? Oh, here come the nades. Oh, we got killed. Oh, team shot. Oh, blah, 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 right? There's a lot going on. Now, keep in mind that there was a lot of time in Destiny 2 Year 1 there was no radar. So that's when a better breed of players had to be in the game. Yes, I said a better breed of players. If you had a tough time in Countdown, you probably weren't as good as you are today, or you never rose in that time frame and got good, and the game finally toned itself down, re-added the radar, and now you can manage it again. But that's that skill is neither here nor there. That's not what I'm. The point is, you had to be aware of where your teammates were. So at some point in time, there was no radar, right? So not only did you not have a radar to even see them, you had to hear them, or or to know where they are, you had to hear them or physically see them. So it made it tougher to make your decision. Do we go here or do we go there? And sure, you could have just, oh, well, I know what I'm doing. No radar, boop. They'll never know what hit them until this glowing emote shows your location, or it's like, hey, you want to come build a snowman with me? Step over here, right? So back in the day, it was best to just pick a simple emote where you just like sitting, standing. There's no glow or anything to give you off. Some people would do it. They'd have the fireworks one off. Anyway, so you could 3-peek and angle around. But the point is, you had to decide where you wanted to go. So let's assume radar was a thing. And because it's in the game right now, and it's probably not going to leave ever again, much to my dismay. So you come here and they go to cave. Well, now you still have to fight in the cave. So you have to fight in the cave. If they go left, they could stay off your radar for quite a bit. By the time they're on the radar, if nobody really checks over here, they could be down probably right about here. And if they all hug the wall, if they come out, hey guys, follow my pathing, don't fall off the map, right? Boom. We're here. Oh, we're on the radar. Someone plant, someone set up a shield, someone get up on top, get ready, and then someone watch back here. Boom. And now we have we have one person stage. They're probably right here, making sure they're in cover from here, and no one will ever know. We got a guy, planting the bomb so he can kind of see what's going on right about down here or over here. We have a guy over here watching the top. So now we have this guy kind of watching the bottom and his right. As soon as he gets done planting the bomb, oh, time to go behind the tree. Now we're behind the tree. And you could even have one person stay back there and they're listening for footsteps. And now they have the long range angle. So what happens again is if you all go to the middle, now you have to fight your way to tree, right? So the game had to make you choose what to do. Now, what my team did, someone always went off by themselves on defense. Either myself or another capable person, or I split the team. It was different depending on the map. So let's say you split the team. Now here's where this is why the map was built for Countdown, right? You could split the team and send a couple up here, right? You could send a team of 3 over here, right? And they could either set up and be safe. And oh, is there anyone here? Nope. Okay, good. You could have them rush. Let's say you have them rush for the sake of rushing. All right, so here's what I would do. I'd be rushing. I remember I was on a Titan at the time, and I just jump up with my Doom Marchers, jetpack across, pulse nade, melee, and anything there was dead. It didn't matter what it was. I won the fight. Period. Because that's how Titans were built back then. That's how pulse nades on Titans were built back then, right? Okay. But what if there's no enemies here? Well, if everyone's moving with me, it's like, all right, guys, just come out to this lane, watch your angle there, don't get shot from there, and then, someone come out a little bit farther. Here's the third guy, right? Let's say we do a 3-in-1 split. Third guy's going to cover here. And here I go, I'm flying way over here. Hey, they're at tree. All right, guys, let's go. And now I'm already halfway down the map, and we already have so we have someone on the left side of the map. Okay, Ken, what's the guy on the left side doing while everyone's transitioning across the map? Why, I'm glad you asked. Grenade! And then they don't look again. They can't plant the bomb if they're going to die to a grenade, right? Let's assume that was a grenade, right? Or they just, oh, super, right? And now we're eating away the clock, which is all we're trying to do. The solo person, if they get a pick, great, right? Because the enemy could come from there. The enemy could come from there. If they get a pick, that's great. If they don't, oh well. But just delaying the bomb plant is all they need to do. Now the enemy, Your team is here to stop the enemy team. So the enemy team now has to decide, okay, our plan has failed. What do we do? And it has to be a decision quickly. So first and foremost, they're probably going to be shooting at whatever. Oh, your enemies everywhere, right? Before someone says, hey, should we fall back and go to the other side? Or someone's going to be like back here. Oh, everyone who can fall back, fall back. I'm going to the other bomb site. Don't die. Play your life as much as you can. Blah 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 blah. Right, and now they come over here and they plant the bomb. All right. And now hopefully your team's transitioning to you. You're getting ready. The enemy coming from here. Someone needs to be up there. Someone could be watching that. Boom. But the map was built for this. All countdown maps were built for countdown, and you had the same premise and the same strategy, right? There was three ways defense could do it. Do you split? Do you all go one direction? Do you split 2 and 2? Do you split 3 and 1? All right. Now, if you come up with any other options, it's probably something ridiculous like, oh, let's all sit in the spawn and do nothing, right? That doesn't help, all right? But hey, do you? All right, offense. Hey guys, what are we gonna do? Same thing. Are we gonna split 3 and 1? Are we gonna split 2 and 2? Or are we all gonna go one direction? Because if the enemy team splits and we all go one direction, there is a good chance we're just gonna 4v2 whatever's there, right? And if they're in bad positionings, they're punished for bad positioning, not blah blah blah. All 4 of them push me. I don't know what to do. Position yourself better. Your job isn't to kill 4 people with 1 teammate on your team only. Your job is to stop them from planting. That was the whole goal of the game mode. Stop the attacking team from planting or eliminate all of them. All right? The attacking team was to plant the objective and let it detonate or eliminate all of the enemy. And when you couldn't eliminate all of the enemy, you had to either stop the objective or complete the objective, right? So again, the premise was still there where you had to be relatively smart and have a team plan, and it brought in a different type of skill. Again, but do you notice something here? Because boom, this just dawned in my head. This is one of the points I wanted to bring up. Do you notice anything about countdown and elimination? In elimination, everything's pretty much happening right here. This is it. This is where you fight. This circle, the circular room. Yeah, you could be a little farther back. Yeah, you could be over there or over there. But you're all looking at this like this is paradise, man. This right here, this is paradise. This is the greatest circle I've ever seen in my life. Oh, what is this? Oh, I am just downright baffled. I am flabbergasted, right? But in countdown, you get to see a whole new world, baby. The cave. You gotta go in the Cave of Wonders, man. You gotta go fly across the city. Like come on. I don't get copyright for that, right? You get to go see the Tree of Life. Like, hello. You have to play the whole map, right? You can't just play one part of the map unless one team is playing one part of the map. You always have to decide where do you need to send your people, right? Where do your people need to split up? And it's probably covering most of the map. These maps were built for countdown, right? In Control, again, this map looks relatively balanced. I would say B and A are easier flags to hold. B is a little bit off by itself, lonely. You could also hold C and A and have heavy, right? Like 2 options to play this in Control, guys. So now that we've established the difference on this map with Control and elimination, and we've set the standard for how Bungie has made the maps in D1 and brought the same D1 maps to D2, and they kind of altered them. But that doesn't mean it was built for elimination. We'll take a Convergence. Boom. Take a look at Convergence. All right, let's go ahead and fly in here. Convergence wasn't built with elimination in mind. I'll try to wrap this up by the 35-minute mark, guys, so about 12 more minutes. Convergence wasn't built with elimination in mind, all right? But it was a Trials of Osiris map in D1. It came out in D2. They didn't do anything to make it more Trials of Osiris friendly, all right? Now, here's the kicker. It wasn't bad, and it isn't bad as a Trials map, all right? I'm not saying every D1 map was horrible for Trials. I'm saying it wasn't built with the game mode in mind, all right? This is a symmetrical map. Now, Visually, is it completely symmetrical? No. Design-wise, yes. So what did they do? One of the things they did, one of the biggest things they did, and easily noticed things that I can remember, they added these hallways right here. Ken, why are these hallways here? So you didn't have to go out in this lane and chance getting sniped by, real crafty. Or maybe I'm here and I got lucky. Or anyone else. You didn't have to go, huh, whoa. And, it's like you're trying to acrobat your way, up into the waterfall. Now, a lot of people say, everyone's shotgun aping because Bungie toned down how many of the maps you could snipe from and where you could snipe from properly, right? So they didn't make this more elimination friendly. They made this more shotgun friendly. What does shotguns do? They usually get up close and in your face. Fusion friendly. What do fusions do? They usually don't get up close and in your face, but they still kill you. All right? Sidearms, hand cannons, auto right, all that good stuff, right? They eliminate, they eliminate snipers really. Now, good snipers are still on this map trying to snipe and snipe back, but there are more shotgunners than ever before, I would say, in my experience. Now, yes, there's probably a sniper on almost every team that I would see at least once, or a bow is another alternative, right? Now, I think the only other thing they changed on this map was I think they made this a little bit wider. I really do, because I think this wall was out wider. I don't know. It was easier for people to get sniped like this, like right here. You would be seen from right about here. So you really had to hug the wall and be first around this corner. I want to say you could be sniped from here, and same from over here. You could be a little further back. Now you have to, for here, you have to kind of be really far forward. Maybe they made those pillars wide. If you guys remember, let me know in the comment section below. But they definitely tweaked the design of this area right here so it was less sniper friendly as well. I remember there was something just slightly off, maybe a meter more of space in D2 than D1. And now because the corridor would be narrower, you'd get sniped more. Now you get sniped less. Okay, so Ken, you said that this map isn't bad for elimination, but what about the poor map design? All right, now this is not where poor map design comes in. This is where the constant circle of map design is. So when it comes to, right, here's Trials of Elimination again. When it comes to symmetrical maps, where does everything happen? Usually in the center. Why? Well, it's the center of the map. Everyone just runs there. Number one. Number two, when you want to look at it objectively, overtime's there. All right, so who can get here the fastest? Okay, and then let's take a look at this map. Now, remember the layout of this map. Is anyone using scouts? Probably not. They could be scouting from back here, but, if Joe Will cuts that corner, I love you, Joe. If Joe Will cuts that corner and I can't get 1, 2, 3 for the Jade Rabbit, 4 for other scouts, whatever it takes to kill him, that means he's going to be over here. And now he's out of my line of sight. And now he's running through here with a shotgun out. Overkill engaged. I see the shoulder charge on its way. Boom. And now I'm in a close range engagement, right? That's assuming it's me and him and I let him run that far across the map. Again, some people get ran up on, even with the radar, because they're just engaged with something else, or they're not paying attention, or they can't pay attention, whatever the reason. It happens. Can't deny that. You probably do it to people. You probably have it done to you at least once. Everyone has been there on one side of the fence. So a lot of this engagement, and I'm going to go ahead because I want to try and keep this to 35 minutes long for the video. I appreciate everyone hanging out so far and listening. A lot of the engagement is close range. Sidearms, shotguns, fusions, all right? Fusions, man. It's fusions everywhere. Fusions, all right? Not that I hate fusions, but they're very powerful, right? But everything's close range again. Okay, here's overtime. There's overtime. How are you going to stop overtime? I guess you can go here. What if they put a Titan shield there? Well, I guess you're going to team shoot it. What if they put 3 Titan shields there? Then they put 3 ice walls there. What are you going to do then? Oh, well, we're going to run in there. Now you're forced to run in there. So this map, symmetrical maps are built more for who can get to the objective area and hold it down best first. Now, Yes, you can have teams out there. Oh, man, I'm not sitting around for the objective. I'm going to kill people. Then go kill people. That's fine. Go outslay the enemy team. I outslay the enemy team when I can, where I can. I play the objective when I can, where I can. Number one priority is objective. Round one, objective, secure objective. You know, objective number two is to, can we kill the enemy? How good are they versus us? Oh, we can start dropping bodies. All right, let's go. And now, objective two becomes number one objective the next 4 rounds if we 5-0 them. And I'm just running out here. I'm not worried about, I'm just trying to get some kills. And then when they get a kill and they take a round, okay, they took a round. When they take 2 rounds, now it's, time to default. Objective number one, take over the objective, hold it down. Why? Because we're probably at our match point and we're about to walk out the door. All we have to do is wait 2 minutes. All we have to do is wait 2 minutes and win. And we probably have supers on the way too, right? So let's not slip up. Because if we give them round 3, they only have to win 2 more rounds, and they're going to have 3. Now it's going to come down to super fights. So we have a whole new mix. So again, the symmetrical maps are built mainly for you to get into the middle as fast as possible and fight in a close quarters engagement. You don't see many pulse rifles. You can, but you don't see many pulse rifles. And even if you had a pulse rifle here, there's a hand cannon or 2 or 3 out there that can be in the same range as a pulse rifle. So there's no real place for a pulse rifle to sit, and it's like, well, he can shoot me with the same amount of damage. So it's just down to preference at that point. If you use a pulse rifle, that's on you. Go for it. You rock that pulse rifle, but the map doesn't respect it. All right? The map wasn't built to respect pulse rifles because the game mode doesn't respect pulse rifles. Even in Control, I would say, sure, if you and a friend, hey, you want to go rock waterfall all game? Sure. I got close range weapons. I'll rock the top. All right, cool. I'll sit here with my pulse rifle, and anything that cuts that corner, I'm going to tag. I'll let you know if they make it to you. All right? Oh, there's not a lot of action here. Well, let's look over here. Pulse rifle, pulse rifle, pulse rifle, pulse rifle. Boom. And, you're still engaging the map. Now, the difference between this map and Radiant Cliffs is also the size of it and the shape of it. This is more like just a straight hallway. It's like you got 3 different options. It's just one big hallway. But again, in elimination, guess what you're doing? You're fighting over one part of the map. You have to travel across the map, but you're fighting over one part of the map in elimination. You got to constantly remember that. You're only fighting over one portion of the map half the time. Now, if you're outslaying the enemy team or you're being outslayed, you're going to be in different areas. You may be back here. You may be in the waterfall, right? And the waterfall is another part, but you're only fighting over this area. When it comes down to a slow game, you're fighting over one spot, right? So, again, the maps are built different. Now, Ken, what does this have to do with stasis? I'm glad you asked. Let me go back to orbit. We're going to go through the maps that I know are in rotation right now that I've at least seen once, and you're gonna have to visually see this now because I can't run through all of these at the same time. You're gonna have to take my word for it or my opinion and compare it with your own experience and your own opinion and the facts that are there. So once again, I believe map design is the biggest problem PvP has. All right, and I'm gonna give you a really good example. We're gonna take all right, so we got the game mode, elimination, boom. I don't think that's going to affect the maps we can choose. Altar of Flame. Ken, what would you say about Altar of Flame? It's not symmetrical, but it kind of is. It's kind of symmetrical. It kind of, it kind of is. I would say this map is relatively good for everything. There's long range. There's close range in elimination. You're fighting over the center of the map. Now, the center of the map encompasses a little bit more area because you have the middle where the heavy would spawn, where the curve would be, and you would hide by block by heavy, that little long block that sticks out. You have the suicide tunnel in the back some people go through, right? Or you have the outside, what you see on the screen here. And what you're trying to do is everyone gets to their side of the map, and now they're just who can get the first pick, or if you can't get a pick, it's overtime time, right? So again, I would say it's a relatively balanced map. Well, why is that, Ken? Because you're not forced constantly in long range engagements, right? I guess I should launch this map. So we're going to come back to this map a little bit towards the end, and I'll explain why. All right, anomaly. You're forced in long range engagements. Well, why is that a problem with stasis? Well, what is probably the number one belly ache of people in trials? And yesterday I found myself not complaining about it, but I was just like, oh man, it happened again. And I sometimes I didn't think it should have happened. Was the glacial grenade that made the ice wall and shatter dive. Those two things. And where I thought I was really far away from those and full life, I still would die to it. And if I didn't shatter dive, if I myself didn't shatter dive, and I wasn't running stasis, I didn't get that extra armor to survive it that hunters probably shouldn't have in the game, Bungie. But hey, you know, you've another topic for another day. That's gonna be raw and uncensored when I get to that video. Oh boy, I'm gonna rip Bungie in half. So this one is all close. You're gonna have Titans sliding all around. You're gonna have hunters probably shatter diving, Titans probably sliding through ice. Well, what was a problem back then? Remember the map design? This map design was built for close range. Before stasis came along, when this map showed up, guess what was really powerful in the game? I bet you remember this. Antaeus wards. Antaeus wards. You couldn't go a game without seeing a Titan on Antaeus wards. Well, why, Ken? Because it made them immune to damage, and there was no startup. It's just slide immune, slide immune. They survived supers, right? That would hit. They would survive arc staff swings on them. No, no Guardian should be doing that, right? Because they just slid. But it was they had a lot of corners and angles and curves to get to you, so they were able to put themselves close enough for Antaeus wards to actually do their magic and just get you killed. Because the map was built like that. The map was built for close range. I'm not, Ken, you just don't like close range maps. No, I would prefer maps that have a variety. All right, I don't hate close range, but I would prefer maps that allow people to play more styles instead of just up close and personal. Now, and that's not bias. Am I bad at close range? Sometimes I feel like it's not my forte. All right, and I will be the first one to say that. I've said that for a long time. I'm probably bad at a lot of close range engagements. But that's neither here nor there. Let's take another map, Bannerfall. What does Bannerfall do? Bannerfall is another D1 map. Overtime spawns outside, but you can use some kind of long range. But guess what? You'll see a lot of hand cannons because hand cannons are always in range. You could use scout rifles too, but a hand cannon can get in the same range of a scout rifle most of the time. Again, it doesn't respect scout rifles. It doesn't respect pulse rifles. So once you add all of this stuff into the map, once you add the walls and the corridors and the boxes, the points of engagement are always going to be within the range of hand cannons, auto rifles, most sidearms, a lot of fusions, right? You got that problem, right? You have the burnout. We haven't seen this in a very long time. But burnout was a trials map, and guess what? Everyone usually fought for the inside of the map because that's where everything went. Number one, number two, overtime was in the inside. So again, you're forced for a lot of close range engagement. Now, there was plenty of sniping when this map came out in D2. We haven't seen it since. Would there be still as much sniping in this lane that you see in the picture right here? Who knows? Cauldron. Another map where the middle is a circle and everyone's fighting over it. Close range engagements. Medium range engagements, and I say medium. I'm trying to be nice here, but it's when I say medium very loosely, right? Someone's got to open them doors, so someone ain't at medium range. Close to medium range. Close to medium range, right? Because again, the objective is where everything's close range. This was the map last weekend at the time of the recording of this video. You could play in this lane right here you see on the screen. But there's no reason to go over there if you really don't want to. You could just play overtime. You can sit back for 2 minutes every round. You can take overtime and take it over with your team and just chill. Easy. Distant shores. Haven't seen this in trials in a long time. Now, this map, heavy spawns in the middle of the map. Overtime spawns at the center platform. You see it on the screen? I can't. Yeah, there I go. You see it on the screen right here. This is where overtime would be. Heavy would be off over here in the middle of the map. This is one of the few maps where heavy doesn't spawn with overtime. All right. So now heavy doesn't spawn every single round in trials. So you could fight all but one round right here if you wanted to. And guess what? One team spawns right around here. They just walk over here. So by the time they get up here, you have teams coming from Dark Tunnel, right? You have to use your imagination, Dark Tunnel. And you have people coming from B, right? Endless Veil, another close to mid-range map. Now, there are snipe lanes in here, and you see plenty of snipers. They don't have to challenge those snipe lanes at all. They never have to be there, right? So again, you could play close range, and it's fought over one spot, right? It's a smaller map, so I'm not going to say, well, you don't fight over all of the map. Because actually, there's a lot of times where you have to fight in a lot of the map. You'll be over here, you'll be over there. So I would say percentage-wise, over 50% of this map is utilized, or at least 50%, which is pretty good for a map. Exodus Blue. I see a lot less snipers on this map. Everything's close range. So you see the theme here? If everything's built for close range, guess what you have to do? Fragment, haven't seen this in trials? Shouldn't be in trials. I'll guarantee you, because I've seen it in elimination, everyone fought over in one spot. This is probably the biggest map in D2 right now. It was all fought over here. But why? Like, why? Why? Right? Javelin 4. Let me bring this up as an example. So I remember a guy named Rainbow, right? Good friend of mine. Much love for him. Much love for you, Rainbow, if you're seeing this. He said, I love Javelin 4, Ken. I can't wait for it to show up. And then he was excited. Ken, yo, guess what the map this weekend is? I'm like, what, Javelin 4? I'm like, how do you know? Because they already confirmed it. I'm like, oh, cool, all right. I don't like Javelin 4. He's like, well, I do. I'm like, well, let's play some games. Guess what was a problem? And Bastion, Antaeus Wards were a big problem. He didn't want to play the game after that weekend. No matter how much love he had for the map was built for certain things. And it wasn't his enjoyment of trials, all right? The map wasn't built with his enjoyment in mind. It was just built. End of story. And now we had Antaeus Wards and Bastions and other fusions running around. And it, again, everything's close range. Midtown, you can utilize 2 lanes. This third lane, you probably won't utilize as much, the outside lane, because heavy doesn't spawn there, overtime doesn't spawn there, and it's just kind of isolated in this game mode. In Countdown, it was relatively balanced, but I liked it. I learned to like it, or I grew to like it, and I have fond memories of this map because of, Dukinus, a guy that I used to run with. So I definitely would say this map was probably mid-tier when it came to Countdown maps. But again, it wasn't built for elimination, and it kind of works for it. But a lot of the lanes are going to be closer. You do have some good snipes. It's because it's just really 3 long lanes, so you could snipe if you wanted to. If you were good to a sniper, go for it. But there's a lot of times where the sniper's going to just be met with a hand cannon, and that's wrap, right? Arbalist aside, guys, Arbalist aside, that's another problem for a different topic. Pacifica, an elimination map where this is heavy, this is overtime. You don't have to fight inside. You can go outside every single time. You don't have to see the inside of the map. On Countdown, you could choose. On offense, you can run straight down the middle. Oh, they're inside, we're going outside. Oh, they're outside, we're planting inside. Boom, done. Oh, they're split, we're killing the inside. Done. Right? Like, you had options. Like, the maps had options. Twilight Gap, I don't think would be a good map. But hey, Widow's Court would be a good map. It gives you options of close range and long range, which people hate long range. A lot of people hate long range. A lot more people like it. So if you hate long range on Destiny, you're in the minority there, Chief. A lot of people would like it. Here's another symmetrical map. Get to the middle, hold it down. How well can you do it? Again, and oh, Rusted Lands. Did I pass Rusted Lands? There it is, Rusted Lands. That's another one where there's options, but when it comes down to overtime, it's more close range and medium range. Where Widow's Court probably comes down to more, you can get more medium range than close range if you want. So, Ken, do you just want long range maps? No, I want maps with options. So once again, you have to think about it. Bungie didn't design maps in this game with those in mind. So let me go ahead and launch real quick, let me launch this map that I said I was gonna launch. Oh, I don't even remember which one it was called, but we're gonna launch Javelin 4 out of love for my friend. We're gonna launch Javelin 4. Boom, clash, launch. Here we go. All right, and we're gonna close on this here. A 50-minute video. I apologize, guys. This is in the discussion section of Destiny 2 discussion videos. Discussions sometimes take a while. So again, I appreciate everyone that made it this far and bearing with me. So it's not that stasis is overpowered. I'm not saying stasis isn't powerful. I'm not saying some of the things on stasis are powerful. Stasis came out, it was really powerful. All the other subclasses feel like they're inferior, but they just haven't been caught up yet. Remember when the Graviton Lance came out and it was really powerful? Well, what did Bungie do? Vigilance Wing became powerful. And what did they do after that? They brought everything up to being powerful. They said, well, let's just make everything 11. Don't dial those back. Dial everything up. That's what they're going to do with the other subclasses, probably. But Stasis, I think, is still going to be one of the toughest subclasses to deal with. So, again, we got Stasis Hunters. That's the main topic, right? So, or sorry, Stasis in general. Sorry, I'm not trying to really hate on Stasis Hunter. Stasis in general, right? So, Warlocks cannot create an ice wall. I should have went on Mayhem. Warlocks cannot create an ice wall and break their ice. Hunters can, and Titans can. Titans have to slide through it. So if every engagement has a, if you're not close to me, I could just come out, boom, hand cannon, sidearm, whatever, pick your poison, man, whatever you want. But if everything's close range, who's scout rifling here? There are some snipers that are going to be on this map, sure. There are going to be some pulse rifles because some of them just flinch very well, and people can land 2 headshots and be done with the engagement. But there's no respect for it, really, again, because there are good hand cannon users out there that are just going to 120 you to death, right? A team shot, boom, 1, 2, 3, dead. You're just dead. You're dead, right? So you got a map that's built like this where fusions are going to reach from here to here. I've seen fusions reach from here to that heavy box, man. I've seen it. I've seen it on my team. I've seen it against my team. It's there. These maps aren't built for the correct game mode. So if all the engagements are up close and personal, and if you come through this tunnel and everyone's set up on the enemy team, now you've given up a lot of room. You're just in a corridor. People pull it off there all the time. I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, you got to utilize all of the map you can. People play outside. That's probably the last ditch effort. I go outside when we need to go outside. When we need to give up the inside and just try to get a pick from a different angle or play for time. But if everywhere a hunter can come from or a titan can come from can be an ice wall shatter dive, right? So check it out. I'm gonna run through this. This is it. Here's the example, right? I just thought, Ken, how can I show this off? Not in Mayhem. Half imagination, half example. All right, start of the round starts. Here I go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't care what the enemy is. Oh, on the radar, ice wall shatter dive. Dead. Right? I don't care what it is. I don't care what class you're on. That's the play. That's what you got to deal with round 1. All right? Round 1, you got to deal with that. Oh, Titan, ice wall shatter dive. Or shatter dive, slide, right? Okay. Well, of course, that's a hallway, Ken. Of course they'd go in there and shatter dive. Oh, okay. Here we come out of the spawn. What am I gonna do? It's round 1. I'm gonna throw my nade like this and boom, you're dead like a bitch. Exactly, same thing. Oh, what? You're behind the rocket? Boom, ice wall shatter dive. Everything's built for ice wall shatter dive. And it's not really built for that. It just happens to be that. Ice wall shatter dive. Ice wall shatter dive. Ice wall shatter dive, right? And I say that because I'm on the hunter. The Titan can do it. The Warlock can't do that. The Warlock can shatter their ice. They have to shoot that shit. They got to shoot it. All right? They got to shoot it. They have to shoot it, man. So, again, I will state this once more. It is the map design is PvP's biggest enemy. Widow's Court and Rusted Land are probably the two best maps for the game, PvP wise, when it comes to trials. Now, ideally, I think, and what would you do? What would you change with maps? Make maps bigger than this, right? Have some small maps in the rotation like this, sure. But when you have a map of, let's say, just for the sake of example, guys, this is a 5x5 map, right? A 5x5 meter map. All right. Yeah, I know. This is a pretty big 5 meters. We must have shrunk down. This is a 5x5 map, right? And if you have a map that's a 10x10 map, let's say overtime doesn't have one set location. Let's say overtime, it could spawn here or it could spawn out there. You won't know until it's overtime. So all this time you've been setting up for overtime in here, boop, flag pops up out there. Oh crap, we gotta go, right? And now you're forced to play another part of the map. On bigger maps, I think that would be a blessing. I think that would be refreshing because now you're forcing people into other parts of the map. Well, kind of what's so good about putting people in other parts of the map? Because some parts of the map can be designed for close range and, oh, wait for it. Oh, I hear you crying already. You're probably not even in the video crying. Some maps are built for long range. Like, so yes. And now you have weapon variety. Oh no, my hand cannon can't reach there. Whatever shall I do? Hope you got a scout rifle on your team, or a pulse rifle, or a sniper, right? Now you have maps with options, and you have the objective moving around the map, and is built with the game mode in mind. And now you don't have to worry about what are you gonna do? You're not gonna see a hunter. You're not gonna see a hunter go, oh, there goes my ice wall, shatter dive. No, and they're not gonna thunder crash across the map and break their own ice. They're a hunter, right? And no Titan's gonna fly across the map and break their own ice as a thunder crash because they can't throw ice. Could they thunder crash across the map? Absolutely. And it's hilarious to watch sometimes. So yes. It is not stasis that is the problem, guys. I'm trying to get you on the same train. It is map design that Bungie hasn't implemented. We haven't seen a map since D2 for 2 years. We have not seen a map for 2 years. So again, it is poor map design. It is poor quality in Bungie's efforts for PvP. And even in PvE, the raids are fun. What else? It takes a year to design the raid. You only got one team? I highly doubt that. Granted, again, they're great. The raids are fun. I love the raids. Now, if they put some quality into PvP map design and actually start pumping out new maps, and I don't need 5 new maps every year. And if they would have been on their game from the beginning, a map every half a year, we'd have plenty of maps. And some of them would have been sunset, but we'd still have plenty of maps. We wouldn't have to worry about that stuff. This wouldn't have been the last map that came out 2 years. See, now I'm getting upset thinking about it. Where's it at? Where's that stupid map at? Oh boy, it's on page 2. This wouldn't be the last stupid map we've seen in 2 years that only plays on 6s because it utilizes all of it. You're forced to play the whole map. Now, this is me talking to Bungie. I'm getting let me calm down. Let me dial it back because Bungie probably ain't watching this. All right. If it were, they'd probably turn it off at this point because I'd be cussing them out. This debuted when Elimination debuted and when they were doing trial runs in Elimination. We haven't seen a new map since this map. And I guarantee you, people are, we should bring, what's that Venus map from D1 called? I don't even remember, but we should bring that map back. No, because you're still going to have to worry about Shatter Dive. You're still going to have to worry about Antaeus Wards. You're still going to have to, fusions, right? Let's take more relevant things. Fusions, Bastions, Ice Wall with Shatter Dive, Titan Slide. Stasis ain't changing. And I don't think Stasis needs to change more so than the maps. The maps need to change. Once you change the maps and stuff is less powerful in the maps, now it comes down to gunplay. Isn't that what you big boys want? Those competitive players, you want gunplay? Yeah, you have better maps, you get better gunplay. And then we balance the abilities. Then we balance the subclasses. Then everything else is balanced. And you can go find something else to complain about that's probably a lot less significant than what I'm trying to say right now, that no one's really on the train with me. I see more people saying just overcome stasis with me. Guys, stasis, you can outplay stasis. Yes. Not everyone's going to be able to do that. If we all got on the same train, and Bungie, we want better maps built for elimination in mind. The one thing you didn't do in Destiny 1 and you only did in Destiny 2 when Countdown was around. We want that kind of love back. Then we get somewhere. All right, we're going to go and cut it here. 20 minutes over the 35 mark. But I appreciate it, guys. Again, this is, it started turning into a rant. Think about it, guys. I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm really correct. You may not agree with me, but the fact still stays. Bungie hasn't designed maps for elimination game modes ever. They stated it. You cannot argue that fact. You don't have to agree with me that the maps may not be the biggest problem, but you cannot argue that fact. They stated it officially on their VOD. Like, it's there when they were announcing Destiny 2, when they were talking about it. They stated it. It's a fact. Can't argue that, all right? Appreciate everyone hanging out. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think, guys? What are your thoughts on this? Do you have any, have you ever thought about this? Ken, you're crazy. Ken, now I understand why you want better maps and, blah, 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 blah. And you're so adamant about people need to, stop belly aching about stasis and get to the real problem, so on and so forth. Let me know in the comment section below, whatever you're thinking. Yeah, show feet. All that good stuff. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever it may be. And yeah, subscribe, thumb up, share the video, share the video. If you liked it, share the video. If you agreed with me, share the video. If you disagreed with me, share the video and hey, I may not agree with this guy all the time, but he kind of brings up what sounds like a valid point. What do you guys think about it? Maybe I'm just being stubborn, right? Maybe you guys are just being stubborn and you don't want to show you guys are being stubborn. Look at this. This is what I've been saying. Boom. All right. Catch you later.